Welcome back to Melodic Memories of Light's Monarch. I'm Casey, and today I just kind of wanted to say hi. It's been a whole week since I've touched base last, and so far there's been a lot of music that has been occupying my time. And first I kind of wanted to touch off with some new releases that actually have came out, starting with Silverstein's new song, Don't Let Me Get Too Low, which is the newest single from their upcoming album. Comes out February 21st, 2025, called Anti-Bloom. And no, obviously not sponsored, just a band that I personally love. I was able to see them back a couple years ago. I can't remember, couldn't tell you when, probably 2 years ago from today. At some point in Edmonton, they went on tour with Dayseeker, and that's the reason why I was able to go, because obviously Dayseeker, I knew them. Silverstein, I knew of them, and that they were kind of legends in the terms of emo music, but I didn't really know them until I gave them the chance, and here we are today. I'm excited for their newest release to come, because their last release, being Misery Made Me, that one, I fucked with that so hard. I even got it on vinyl. Like, I ended up liking it that much to want to buy it on vinyl. But that's besides the point. Just wanted to kind of let you know about that. And also, another album that I'm really excited for. Can think of it as a little bit of a birthday present for me, since it drops April 18th this year, which is Mayday Parade's new album called Sweet. It is the first of a trilogy, apparently. Whatever that means. It'll be interesting to see what that means, what they've got in store for us. But they just dropped a new song, and that new song was By the Way, came out January 8th for the upcoming Sweet album. Incredibly excited. It looks so pretty, like the aesthetic of it, and the album itself already, with the two singles that they dropped, the last one being way earlier last year compared to this one. I don't know. I don't know what to really expect, if we're going to get more of just this kind of sound or what it's going to be. Mayday Parade, they're one of my favorites. They've been one of my favorites. I'm always excited to hear something new from them, and the fact that this album is coming out on my birthday it just makes me happy, makes me excited. It feels like a little birthday gift to me, even if that is being very self-centered. I don't mean to be. It just makes me excited. In any sense, I just wanted to kind of start this episode off touching on those two things that are coming up. Again, Mayday Parade, new trilogy of albums, whatever that means, I'm excited. They're a band that has never really disappointed me, and granted, I don't know much about them. I don't follow them that insanely close, but when I do get around to listening to their new stuff or hear that they drop something new, I am always immediately excited, and they're just one of those emo bangers. Same with Silverstein. As I've gotten into them more over the past couple years, I just excited for these and figured they deserved their due. In any sense, though, my birthday this year, I'm going to be 26 years old. And I was kind of reflecting on with myself on that. I can't believe it. One, not to be depressing, but I truly did not think I would have made it this far. I never planned to be here this long, as sad as that is. But all the same, even though I have come to terms with being here this long, much before this, it's just wow, I'm going to be 26 years old. What do I do? Where am I? What does this mean for me? Where do I want my life to go? There's so many big questions that, yes, I'm sure I should probably have answers for already. But some of them I don't. And I'm excited, slightly nervous, yes, but excited more so because I would rather be excited than nervous for my future. I'm just excited with a slight bit of nervousness to know what is in store for me. What am I supposed to do when I turn 26? What is the future gonna look for me? And I'm not too sure if I'm ready for it or prepared, but all I can really say is that I'm prepared for whatever is about to come, even if it's something that I can't even really be prepared for without knowing. It's a little bit of a conundrum, not gonna lie, but I want for whatever is meant to be. I'm ready for it to be. I'm ready to follow my dreams and continue pursuing them as I have been over this past year, at the very least. And I'm just excited for whatever it means for me. And I just want to stay positive. I want to not let anything get me down. And even if it does, I want to continue pushing through and reach my goals that I've made for myself, like continuing this podcast up, making sure I stay on top of it, continuing to pursue music, and then even on top of that, playing some video games, hopefully on stream, because that's always been a goal of mine. I've always wanted to start with Kingdom Hearts. Love that video game franchise to bits, as everyone should know by now. But Kingdom Hearts, I wanted to start with that because it's literally the game, the thing that I have honestly based my life on. Not saying that in like a weird way either. It sounds very strange to say, but when I break it down a little bit, the core beliefs that I have of just being a good person, looking out for your friends. My friends are my power, the classic line from Kingdom Hearts. Everything that Sora is something that me, being little, when I was younger, I based what I wanted to be off of him. I aspired to be like Sora. And obviously, for people that know what Kingdom Hearts is, they understand what that means. And for you, those of you that don't, he's just a very happy, light-go-lucky character that believes in his friends and believes that his friends give him power to then get through the hardships that life will bring. And it's just as simple as that, just being a good fucking person. And in my opinion, it's not that hard to be. I mean, with the way the world is going, I don't really know if people lost sight of that or can't even really, I'm not going to touch on that here. But in any sense, with Kingdom Hearts, I do want to start streaming that. And that's another just goal for this year. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling at this point. I'm just excited for what this year could bring. And whatever that might be, bring it my way. And I hope it's something to do with all of this that I've been creating and what I haven't even created yet. I want to continue creating. It is a passion of mine. And even if it is streaming for people to watch and come laugh at me for being an idiot, I don't care. I want to play some Kingdom Hearts. I've been itching to play some Kingdom Hearts for a long time now. And I think that might be one of my next journeys for video games in general, is starting up Kingdom Hearts again. Especially if we can get that damn release date, or at least release window, something for Kingdom Hearts 4. Hello, please? Square? Nomura? Please? Anyways, I just actually ended up finishing up a game that I never thought I would have played. I only played it for nostalgia reasons, and that honestly, not really a good enough reason for me to do this, because it was bad. Like, it was really bad. Not in the terms of it just being, like, gross or vulgar or anything. It was just a broken, buggy mess of a game. And that game was Ice Age Scrat's Adventure. Now, you say it out loud, obviously. You kind of expect, or should expect it to be complete garbage. But I have to tell you, I went into it because I grew up playing a game called Ice Age 2 The Meltdown, obviously. For those of you that know Ice Age movies, that is one of the movies, yes. And the original, the game version of the movie, was one that is incredibly nostalgic for me because I had it on my PS2, still do, mind you, I still have it. And it is a game that I actually had to rebuy because I ended up selling it years ago, but I rebought it sealed, and the fact that I had a sealed copy, and I say had because I have opened it to play it since, it doesn't hold up as well as it did when I was a kid, but all the same, it's still super nostalgic. And essentially, all I was trying to do, really, was find a game that was the same as that, or at least gave me the same vibes, and I wanted to try it out. Ice Age Scrat's Nutty Adventure. From the pictures of it, it looked like it could be something that was a spiritual successor. And obviously, I gave it a shot. Obviously, I was very wrong. It was pretty bad. And at least I finished it. I platinumed it. I can't remember if I touched on this before or not. Now that I'm talking about it, I think I may have. But all the same, be careful with nostalgia. it can bite you. If you're going to play a video game, maybe watch the trailer first, because I got called out on my shit of like, why are you playing that? For why? And I did not have a proper answer to give, even though nostalgia was my answer. Not a very proper one to make an excuse with. In any sense, though. With the Ice Age game, having completed that and actually platinuming it, I've been thinking about my next journey into video games. What do I want to play next? Because for Christmas time, that just passed, I got The Last of Us Part 1 from my mom and stepdad, and I also was able to get God of War Ragnarok from Logan. So I'm curious to know, should I go for one of those? Should I try something else? God of War is a series that I've loved for many, many years. It's a video game series that my buddy, the same person who showed me 21 Pilots, believe it or not, is the one that showed me God of War, because he had the collection on the PS3, the one that had God of War 1 and 2. And I remember him playing God of War 2 while I was over, and it was the first taste I got of something like that. It was the first kind of mature video game I got to get a taste of. Mind you, I was quite young. I want to say I was probably around like 9, 10 years old. Maybe a little bit older, but regardless, I was somewhere around there and he was playing it. Probably when he shouldn't have been, but all the same, it's video games, shit happens. God of War is a good game. I think, personally, I've platinumed every single one of them except for the PS4 versions of the games, or PS5, I guess, with Ragnarok. The originals, essentially, platinumed, all on the PS3. I need to replay through God of War 3 Remastered on PS4, which I plan to do after the new God of War PS4 game that came out a few years ago. And Ragnarok, I plan to kind of wrap it all up in a bow with playing that one. Anyways, that has been a plan that I've had for many, many years, and I've slowly, ever so slowly, kind of chewed away at it, finally got there. The next game I need to play is the God of War PS4 that came out in like 2018. Other than that, The Last of Us Part 1, which I got from my mom and stepdad, I've never played The Last of Us. Ever. I've always been a Sony fanboy, if you want to say that. I've always had Sony consoles. I've had the PS3, I've had the PS2, I've had the PS1, and I've had the PS4, PS5. Regardless, I've had the systems. I've never once played The Last of Us, and I know it's a PS3 franchise and has evolved since then, even though it has 2 entries only. It's a game that I've always wanted to give a shot because of how much good you always hear about it. No matter what, if The Last of Us comes up in conversation, it is in a good way. I don't think there's ever been any sort of bad light that The Last of Us Part 1 has had. The Last of Us Part 2, mind you, again, I don't know any spoilers and I plan to keep it that way. Please respect that. But I do know that The Last of Us Part 2 has not the same effect that the first one gave people. I'm not sure why. I'm sure there's a blatant reason. As Logan kind of told me, it's you trying to get a character to push through a really shitty situation, so it's kind of traumatic. That's all I really know, and I don't know if that gives anything away. I hope it doesn't. Apologies if it does. But in any sense, it is a series that I've wanted to try. I have avoided the TV show, literally just because I knew that I wanted to play the video game first, and that's how I plan to do it, okay? So, with time, I think I'll get to that one. But I'm not sure which one I really want to pick next, as I am currently finishing one trophy that I've had for 2 years, almost 3, and that's a Pac-Man trophy from Pac-Man World Repack, which came out on PS5 in 2022. Now, with Pac-Man World Repack, that game, I adore Pac-Man World. It is a series that I grew up with as well on the PS2. I had the PS1 version of Pac-Man World that I bought later down the line, but I grew up really with Pac-Man World 2 and 3. And I must say, they are great platformers. They're at least ones that I find super nostalgic. I love Pac-Man. And for this trophy in Pac-Man World 1, I have to get to round 9. Round 9 of the original Pac-Man arcade cabinet game. The original Pac-Man, get to round 9. That is so hard to do. I don't know if anyone knows how to do it, but if you don't, I'm going to kind of say here, you have to look up and follow patterns in order to get through each stage, and that's only a chance to get through them because it leads you to pretty much finishing the majority of the stage, and then the rest you just kind of have to figure out. And you have to do that for 9 whole rounds. It's not easy, and I haven't been able to do it yet. It has been sitting there in my trophy list for almost 3 years because it's a trophy that I just do not want to have to deal with. It sounds so mind-numbingly brutal, and I know I'm probably exaggerating it quite a bit, but it's something that I've been just so afraid of. I don't want to do it. It's like, oh God, it's intimidating. And it is a trophy that I'm now finally putting work into here and there, mind you, but I do have to follow a pattern. It's just memorizing a pattern at this point, and then hoping I get lucky, and eventually I will, and when I do, you bet your ass I will be talking about it on here and going off, because it has been a long time coming. But once I'm done that, and I don't expect that to take me too terribly long, if I don't want to be too cocky, but the next game to play after that, I gotta figure it out. If you have any suggestions, be it the ones that I've talked about, Kingdom Hearts, Last of Us, God of War, or if it's ones that I haven't even talked about, haven't even heard of. I plan to play the Life is Strange series at some point as well. So just let me know. Hit me up at Lights Monarch. Those are my socials on everything. Hit me up. Let me know what game you think I should try next. Be it because it's a great story, it has great music, either or, I don't care, I'm here for it. Let me know your favorites. Speaking on Kingdom Hearts, though, just to kind of like dial it back a little bit to a series that, again, I personally adore, I really miss Kingdom Hearts. It has been a time for fans of Kingdom Hearts. We've gone through the biggest drought that we've ever had to face. And I know that sounds very dramatic. It is quite dramatic, but where is it? Where is Kingdom Hearts? Where are you, Kingdom Hearts? Oh, how I adore you. Or whatever. Anyways, I don't know. I'm losing my mind here because I want Kingdom Hearts back. It is a series that when I say it means the world to me, it really does. It's something that I look forward to, and I am going to be patient. There's no way around it. You just gotta be. It is what it is nowadays. With video games in general, not just Kingdom Hearts, there's delays, there's false promises, there's trailers that drop 5+ years before the game even gets talked about again, and that's kind of what is happening to Kingdom Hearts 4. I honestly can't fathom that this is happening because we've already been through this with Kingdom Hearts 3, but I digress. This time it's been worse, and I never thought it could have been. I am the kind of person that when Kingdom Hearts 3 was dropping, I do remember this, the music dropped before the game, the 2 songs, Don't Think Twice and Face Your Fears, and I remember hearing Don't Think Twice for the first time, and actually listening to it. I cried. Especially, I remember a very specific moment. I was driving back to GP from, I think, my parents. I had the music going, the songs were playing, and I just started crying because of the lyrics of Don't Think Twice. I'm not going to give it away. It is a beautiful song. I think everyone should listen to it, and if you plan on playing Kingdom Hearts, maybe hold out to listening to it until the game, you actually get to it in the game. But it is a beautiful song, and it made me bawl my eyes out for waiting so damn long. And it's something that, again, I just really want more news. Anything would be nice. Missing Link, hello, it is missing. It's been gone. I know it was delayed, actually. Like, they publicly said on Twitter that it was getting delayed again. But I just don't know what that means. I don't really know where the future of the series is at. With Nomura, the last time we really heard of anything about it was the fact that the future of the series was changing in a big way. He was saying that to Yoko Shimomura at the, I believe, Kingdom Hearts World concert, and we still have not heard what that means at all. The only thing we know now is that Nomura plans to retire, and I really don't know what that means for Kingdom Hearts, the future of the series. I just want to see my game again. I want to be able to travel with Sora, Donald, and Goofy to another however many Disney worlds. I want what's next, and I know I will be patient. I want them to create something that they are passionate towards and proud about. But I also wouldn't mind them just being open and being like, yo, Kingdom Hearts 4, we're not going to have anything for that for another 5 years. I would rather know that than just sit here in this kind of limbo, this wait. It's been over 1,000 days since we've heard anything about Kingdom Hearts. And that in itself is mind-blowing to me. For Kingdom Hearts 4, mind you, since the last trailer. And that was in 2022. I remember that and being blown away at the fact that Sora is in this new place and looks so amazing and so real, and I could go off, but I don't want to give any spoilers away because I do have people that are trying to play through this series. Crystal, I know you are one of them. I'm not going to give any spoilers here. So, in saying all of that, my fucking rambles, I am wanting more Kingdom Hearts news because the 15-year anniversary of Birth by Sleep, a Kingdom Hearts game that came out in 2010 for the PSP, it just reached its 15-year anniversary. And in saying so, they actually made a post on their socials where Nomura gave a statement himself. They went and asked him for a statement, and his statement goes on to say, "It's been 15 years since the release of Birth by Sleep, so I've been asked to give you a secret anecdote about how the game itself was born. I've already revealed quite a lot, so I had a think about what would be best. Apparently, the plan is to release my comment alongside the teaser trailer for BBS from the secret movie in Kingdom Hearts 2. So, taking my cue from that video, I'd like to give you an insight into the Crossroads. In this video, 3 Keyblade wielders, clad in armor, wait for someone at a crossroads. Meeting someone at a crossroads is actually a recurring motif in Kingdom Hearts. At the beginning of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Sora meets someone in a black coat and is invited to Castle Oblivion. During the climax of BBS, the 3 protagonists wait at a crossroads for 2 Keyblade wielders, linked to them by fate. It is where the opposing unions come together and the Keyblade War breaks out in the Kingdom Hearts Key series. Those who wish to become the new leader of the unions in place of the Master gather here in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and in Kingdom Hearts 3, the ancient foretellers known as the Lost Masters gather at these crossroads. As you can see, whenever there's something going on, crossroads act as an important point of divergence. To trace it right back, the motif was inspired by the well-known crossroad myth from the American folklore. The story goes like this. A young man makes a deal with the devil at a crossroads, trading his soul for the ability to play guitar. The first time a crossroads appears in Kingdom Hearts is in Chain of Memories, which is about losing something to gain something. And in fact, all subsequent appearances of crossroads have the same significance. The greatest example is BBS, a story where all 3 protagonists pay a heavy price to obtain something. But wait, when the Lost Masters gather at the crossroads in Kingdom Hearts 3, what is gained and what is lost? That's a story for another time. Tetsuya Nomura, Kingdom Hearts series director. Sorry if I butchered that by any sense, and if there are a few spoilers in that, so take that as you will. But I know without context you don't really know what he's talking about, at least to some extent. Just the fact that it's heavy. And I gotta say, it's exciting that we got something new. that he talked about Birth by Sleep, a game that is now 15 years old. Which, holy hell, how can it be 15 years old? I remember getting that game Christmas morning, opening it up to be like, oh, I got the game. I don't have a PSP. Next present, open that up. It's the fucking Invisimals Cross Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs bundle PSP from my dad. The game was from my mom, or vice versa. I can't remember which was which. I'm pretty sure the PSP was from my dad, the game was from my mom. But all the same, I remember opening that up Christmas morning and putting it all together and actually playing it, starting the game up, going to Dwarf Woodlands with Ventus, walking into my brother's room, seeing him play with his Christmas gifts, and me just sitting on his floor while he does so, playing my own Birth by Sleep, and just living in the moment of being a child with a brand new video game on Christmas. Even though I was 11 at the time, so yeah, it was such a core memory. I remember it like it was yesterday. I can just think about it and I'm right back there. And that's how important these games are to me, because they are literal core memories. They make up who I am today. And the fact that it is 15 years old, yeah, makes me feel ancient. Like, actually ancient. But I know I'm not that old yet. All the same, I got told by Reese that if I tell myself I'm old, then I'm calling Gracie Abrams old. And obviously Gracie Abrams, she's amazing. I like her very much. She's a very beautiful woman. I cannot call myself old, for yet if I do, I am calling her old. So apologies to Gracie. Not that she's ever going to be listening to this, but all the same, Kingdom Hearts, I love it. I will always love it. That Christmas morning when I was able to open up Birth by Sleep, I remember it like it was yesterday, along with all my other memories towards Kingdom Hearts. They've always been incredibly important to me, and I'll probably touch on the rest of them when their respective anniversaries come to be. And maybe when we actually get towards having some new Kingdom Hearts content. Hello, please? In any sense, the whole Crossroad thing I found really cool, and that's why I wanted to share it, because it's exciting. It gets me hyped up for Kingdom Hearts again, and I'm excited to see where the series is going to go. I'm excited where the music is going to take it, where the story is going to take everything, all of it together, Kingdom Hearts 4, or if we get Missing Link still beforehand, I don't know what they plan to do with that. I imagine we'll get it before KH4, but all the same, if we don't, and they just scrapped that entirely or changed it, whatever they wanted to do, I'm not gonna care. I'm not gonna be sad. Whatever they want to do, they can do. I'm here for it. Just please keep it to being Nomura's vision until he is retired, and with that, retire Sora. That is my biggest thing. If Nomura's gone, Sora has to go too. Kingdom Hearts can continue on with different characters, but the story of Sora himself, I feel like it is only fitting if it ends with Papa Nomura and his storytelling, because he is someone that I feel deserves the recognition and deserves to be one of the greatest video game directors of all time. Also, not to mention, by the way, just to touch on Birth by Sleep a little bit more, I actually remember when I beat it. I remember beating the game, but then also the actual final episode game portion, the final episode, the final boss of the final episode, when you're fighting him, I remember struggling, but I eventually beat it, and it was in the middle of class. And I know that sounds terrible, you should be paying attention during class, but it was when I lived in Worsley. I was still very young, obviously, and I actually ended up beating it in the middle of class with my favorite teacher, Miss Cordero. Shout out to her. Don't know what she's doing now. I don't even think her last name is the same. I think she's gotten married since. I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you if that was even her maiden name or not. I don't know. But she was the teacher. It was my class of like 4 other students because the school was tiny. And we had nothing to do. It was right before Christmas time, right before Christmas break. and I was just there to kind of be there, but I brought my PSP with me. They were doing their own thing kind of as a class, just getting things done, and I was like, I'm in the middle of a fight because when I was getting driven to school, I was in the middle of the fight, didn't beat it like I thought I would before getting to school. The teacher was so cool that she respected it. She's like, "No, you got it. You're good. It's all good. You finish your boss, you finish your fight. We'll be here when you're done." I was like, "What?" Like thinking back now, it's just like, "What? They allowed that?" Like I know it was the circumstances of being right before Christmas, not like anything else was really happening or going on. But the fact that she allowed that, like, what a fucking cool teacher. Rosie, you better be that cool of a teacher when you get to being a teacher, I swear to God. Because that is something that stands out to me still to this day. Fucking love that teacher. Anyways, to not ramble on too much longer, just kind of wanted to say my last little piece here and touch on my Christmas party. I just finally had my Christmas party. I know it's a little bit past Christmas, but all the same, the company I work for, they like to have their company-wide Christmas party, usually around this time in January. And it just recently passed on this Saturday that just passed us, and it was a hell of a time. It was so much fun. I want to go in depth. I think I'm going to hold out and going too in depth because, again, I don't want to give away too much of my own personal workplace life, but I will say it was a hell of a time. Congratulations to Courtney and Paul for winning your awards. You guys deserved it so much. Doubt you're listening, but all the same, you deserved it. And I just have to say that with the party being so fun, thank you to all my friends, all my coworkers that I can call friends and family at this point. Love you guys to bits. Even if it is a dysfunctional workplace sometimes, even if it is a shitty place to work sometimes, all the same, people have bad days, people have good days. All the same, it was a good party. It was a lot of fun to just celebrate and not be stressed and have everyone just kind of chill. And for those that didn't make it, I'm sorry to see that you couldn't, but it was a hell of a time. You missed out. I do have some photos I was able to take at the photo booth. I didn't really dress up too much. It was 50s themed, but all the same, I'm just kind of keeping it brief, but I might go in depth next episode a little bit more. Just wanted to say it was a hell of a time. And for everyone listening, keep your ears open wide for some new music on the way from Architects. They got a new song dropping this Tuesday, so tomorrow, well, when you're listening to this, if you're listening on Monday. And Electric Callboy, new song January 24th. 4 days after my little sister's birthday, on top of a new Dayseeker album, which we knew is coming, but they did just recently say it should be all wrapped up come March this year. So I'm assuming new single at some point after that, so fuck yes, Dayseeker. And lastly, I wanted to share a new band that Spotify, the algorithm, the almighty algorithm, whether you love it or hate it, it recommended me a new band that I'd never heard of. From New Jersey. By the time they showed it to me, they were at like 7,000 some monthly listeners. Pretty small, but fuck are they ever good. They're called Human Error, and they have their debut EP released last year called Human Error, self-titled, and I just wanted to share them with you. They're very much like a mix of, they're heavy, but they're a mix of like The Plotting You with Neck Deep. And if I know that sounds really weird, but that's the best way I can describe it, while also having their own sound. They're really good. Go give them a listen. Keep your ears open wide for all these new songs that are to come, along with much else that I know I'm glancing over and haven't even touched on. There's a lot happening this year, and it's going to be a hell of a time. I'm glad to be on this journey with all of you. Thanks for coming along. And even if I am talking to myself, as I sometimes think I am, and not actually to people, all the same, I'm excited. This year's going to be a good one. And I just want to say thank you for discovering the music within.